With that Sonic crossover coming soon, that got me thinking, what other games can Transformers crossover with? And in today's video, that's what I'll be doing, going over possible games that could become a Transformers crossover. To start things off, let's put on a hazmat suit and explore the remains of post-war America and Fallout. Well, working vehicles are rare in Fallout, but thanks to factions like the Brotherhood of Steel and the NCR, we do have examples of working ones, but honestly, I don't think that's fully necessary for this crossover to work. But onto the vehicles themselves, we actually have a truck for Optimus, and while Fallout's truck design is quite unique, but we also have a similar looking Optimus cab from the Titans Return Powermaster Optimus Prime, as that toy too has a massive grille but tiny windows. So I think with some retooling, we could get a very accurate Fallout truck from that mold. Or if we go further back to the Combiner Wars Leader Magnus, so we could have so we could redo Minimus Ambus into that smaller, one of these smaller Fallout vehicles. But moving on from Optimus, another vehicle I think could work is Fallout's voting fan, as it could have its robot mode resemble the iconic vote suit. But of course, normal vehicles aren't the only ones that dot the wasteland, as military vehicles do as well, and those tanks and APCs will work great for Decepticons like Brawl and Onslaught. But the Earth in Fallout isn't just home to survivors of the nuclear war, as aliens too exist in the Fallout universe. Let's give us a nice excuse to include Cosmos in one of these crossovers. Lastly, for vehicles, coming back down to Earth, the Brotherhood of Steel and Fallout 4 also have the massive airship the Pitlin, and its fleet of vertibirds that can also be used for potential characters for this crossover. And I can't forget to mention the powerful robot, Liberty Prime, not only for the obvious reason of always having Prime in his name, but I can also see him possibly being the basis for the Pridlin's robot mode. Finally, vehicles are the only viable option to come from Fallout, as the radiated wasteland has mutated creatures like the iconically deadly Deathclaw. Now, the obvious answer is to have it be Megatron, but personally, I'd have the Deathclaw be a new character and use the Deathclaw's cousin, the Gatorclaw, as a monster's take on Gator Megatron, or maybe even have Beast Wars Megatron be the Deathclaw and use G1 Megatron as the Gatorclaw retool. But those aren't the only surviving creatures, as the bear has become the fearsome Yogwai. While mutated, it's most likely the only guaranteed way to get a new Polar Court mode by making a mutated Grizzly 1, with the last creature I want to mention being the Blood Bug, as it's the radiated upsized version of the mosquito, as I'm sure there's dozens of unsold mosquitoes that you could just slap on a Fallout Transformers crossover sticker on and just to get rid of them. But jokes aside, I can see like Bloodbug Transmosquito and Yogwai Grizzly 1 being Predacon and Maximo crossover battle pack. Now let's move on from the woods of Boston to the dystopian future of Cyberpunk 2077 within Night City. Thanks to Cyberpunk being an RPG, we have plenty of player vehicles to choose from for a potential Transformers crossover. With that in mind, what better place to start this section than with the Heller ECDI 360, the starter card you automatically get a hold of when playing Cyberpunk 2077. As I think this car has enough bulk to be a good counterpunch bot, as the plot of the game is basically your character V and another character, Johnny Silverhand, having to typically share the same body, and trying to separate it. But during the game, you both have to share V's body. So I think having counterpunch's gimmick, having the Autobot side being V, and with the Decepticon side being Johnny, makes sense to get the lot of the game across in one toy. However, Johnny has his own car, the Porsche 911 Turbo 930. So they could take the similar approach and retool Jazz for Johnny and make a pretty new mode for V's Heller, or swap the Heller for the Quattro Turbo VTEC, aka the car you see in all the promos for the game and in the difficulty settings menu. Lastly, for vehicles the player can use, I want to give attention to the Thornton pickup truck we can buy. Notice anything about its paint job? I think this truck can make a great Ironhide, but I also want to point out the difficulty of some of Cybertruck's vehicles, as some of them are asymmetrical. Say, the same story for the Heller too. So these vehicles being different on both sides just add on to the complexity of doing some of these vehicles. And finally, for Cyberpunk 2077, it is not just our player character that drives notable vehicles, as one of the game's potential love interests, Pan Am, drives a weaponized version of the pickup truck I just mentioned, giving it a turret that the passenger can use. And since the Warhorse also has a similar color scheme to the base model, I can also see this version of the pickup truck being a good use for Ironhide for this potential crossover. Now, let's move on to the second to last game. That's right, Five Nights at Freddy's. My personal favourite game series that does have a few vehicles that can be used in a Transformers crossover, like the van from the promo videos for Security Breach. And I can see the van having the same gimmick as the TMNT crossover, where the base robot mode is based off the endoskeleton of the series, with parts and accessories that turn it into the main four characters. FNAF also has the car belonging to the series' main antagonist, Millennium Afton, though I can see the crossover name being the Midnight Motorist after both the minigame where the car makes a second appearance and what the car is named in the upcoming Five Laps at Freddy's Kart Racer. Speaking of kart races, there's a mascot character in FNAF who's is themed around it. Roxanne Roof, or simply Roxy for short, has a whole go-kart track named and themed around her. Plus, being a popular character, I can easily see Roxy having her own transforming counterpart. Finally, for this section, I want to put out a crazy idea by giving Mango their own transformer counterpart. How, you may ask, looking at Mango? Simple, the Armorizer Weaponizer gimmick. Personally, the perfect fit for Mango, as the Armorizer's Weaponizer's whole gimmick is taking apart and putting it back together again, either as from taking apart the robot to make it into its vehicle form, or taking apart the robot and combining them onto a different character to give them armor and a weapon, which is a perfect fit for Mango personally. So they could have one Armorizer Weaponizer as the pristine toy Foxy, and another looking like a bare endoskeleton with some extra parts. So both can transform, and both can be an Armorizer Weaponizer separately, but with the main goal of them combining the two to make Mango's Transformer counterpart. To finish off this video, I don't think it's possible for MegaMan to get a crossover. Well, limiting for representation for a Blue Bomber, but I think we could take his super form when he combines with Rush, so they could have a transforming Rush whose robot mode is Super Mega Man, and maybe have a different recolor that is a Blue Rush to kind of have a transforming Mega Man. But for Mega Man specific vehicles, there are two from the old Ruby Spears cartoon I think that could be used. That is, if rights on an issue with the old toy manufacturer. First being that flying scooter that we'll use throughout the show, with the second being that obvious toy advertisement that is the Land Blazer. Well, the latter is a bit more obscure, but MegaMan just has a few notable vehicles to pick from, and we're just in luck that the Land Blazer even has enough bulk to seamlessly work as a transformer. The flying scooter, on the other hand, being something that's pulled from the game, so it could be done by picking whatever bike bot mode is nearby, with retuning it to get the look just right. Maybe even having a further redo to have a game accurate scooter. Finally, as an inverse of Mega Man's slim pickings, there's plenty of running machines that can be used for a potential Transformers crossover, whether that be one from the Ruby Spheres show or one of the many other machines that the Mad Doctor used, like the T-Rex looking number 9, which could be a Grimlock V2, or the Pirate Ship looking machine 10, with my final pick being the latest one, machine 11 from Mega Man 11. And with that, we've gone through all the video games I think that could work as a Transformers crossover. What do you think? There's no way an exhaustive list. What other things from the games I listed could work for Transformers crossover? And in any event, thank you for watching.